Hello and welcome to another 31 Nights of Horror here on CineQuest Video. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Lovecraftian film, The Color Out of Space.
Everything's gonna be A-okay.
Nathan Gardner just wants a quiet life on his late father's farm with his wife Teresa and their 3 kids. But after Teresa's surgery, things are already tense. And then one night, the sky rips open. A glowing meteor in front of their yard, pulsating with a color no human eye should see. The next morning, the thing is gone, but the color isn't. It's in the water. It's in the air. It's in them. The youngest son, Jack, starts whispering to something inside the well. Mom slices off her fingers like she's cutting vegetables. Dad's temper flips from suburban dad jokes to unholy rage, and time itself stops playing by the rules. Their crops wither, the animals mutate, and the family falls apart in the most literal way possible. Teresa and Jack fuse together into one screaming, fleshy nightmare. Benny disappears down the well, pulled apart by the color. By the time Ward, the hydrologist, returns, Nathan's gone full Lovecraft. He's talking to walls, shooting at shapes, and cradling what's left of his wife and son. Then the color erupts, a kaleidoscope storm from beyond space, devouring everything in a swirl of light, sound, and madness. Ward survives, but the farm is gone, replaced by a gray wasteland where reality itself melted. Years later, he stands over the new dam, the water hiding everything that happened beneath its surface. He says he'll never drink it, because he knows the color's still down there, waiting.
Now, right off the bat, this is one of the better Lovecraft adaptations of his works. So this is directed by Richard Stanley, who had initially planned a Lovecraftian trilogy with Elijah Wood's production company, Spectravision. But due to COVID and some unfortunate allegations against Richard Stanley, his next film, his next adaptation, The Dunwich Horror, has come to a complete grinding halt. And that is a total bummer. So we'll see what happens in the future with Richard Stanley and this Lovecraftian trilogy. Now, this film has it all the Lovecraftian characteristics in this film, the cosmic indifference, the strange tentacled creatures, a Necronomicon, the unknown colors that may or may not be sentient. And we have a Nick Cage screaming and turning into the Madman. Typical Lovecraftian character, main character either going mad or dying or something like that. And Nicolas Cage is known for being fucking crazy. So who better to play the Madman than Nicolas Cage? And right off the bat, Nicolas Cage going mad is just great. There's a scene of him like screaming about the alpacas and basically telling his kids to fuck off. And then there's also him, which is also a part of the actual story of The Color Out of Space, of him getting his harvest. I believe it's of tomatoes, and he's eating them, and then he just gets pissed off because they taste funny, or they're just not, they didn't grow correctly, or they just taste out of whack. And he just starts slam dunking them. And he's like doing this whole jumping thing and slamming them into the trash and being this very madman type of Nicolas Cage self. This part still kind of gets to me a little bit. It's the scene where we see the younger brother and the mother merge after being engulfed inside the actual color out of space. And they turn into this very grotesque type of creature. Where their backs have merged together, and you can kind of hear the moaning and the pain that the child and the mom are going through, and the family's dealing with it. You know, they're seeing their mom and the brother kind of just moaning and groaning in pain, and there's nothing they can do about it because they have no idea what's going on with them. It's gross. It's kind of heartbreaking to see them go through that. And you see him, Nicolas Cage, who loves his wife, doesn't know what to do. Initially, he's going to shoot her, but then opts out of it because he wants to see if he can help her. But then at some point, we get to a point of no return, and the mom and the son kind of merge into like a grotesque creature that Nicolas Cage has no choice but to put down. But at that point, Nicolas Cage has gone so far off the deep end after he's completely like killed the alpacas, who have also merged with the color and have grown into like a multi-headed grotesque creature, and he kills all of them. He has second thoughts, and he comes back after law enforcement has come to see what's going on, and Nicolas Cage comes in with a gun and blows the mom and the son away, and he has this real gleeful psychosis. I don't know if that's the correct way to put it, but he's pretty much delirious, and that's what happens in a Lovecraft story. And it really is just peak Lovecraftian horror, if I do say so. We also have Tommy Chong shows up as some kind of weird hippie conspiracy theorist who is kind of the first to know about this whole cosmic color entity that, or like these entities that are alive in the color. He can hear them talking, and they've contaminated the water. He still drinks the water, by the way, without actually knowing that the color has contaminated it, but he knows that it's gone bad. But he doesn't hesitate. He goes along with it. He knows it's all supposed to happen. And he kind of just, it seems like he almost embraces it to his end, unfortunately. Now, if you're not aware, and I mean, I'm no like Lovecraftian expert, but this is adapted from the short story of the same name, The Color Out of Space, written by H.P. Lovecraft. And this is probably the most faithful adaptation from short story to film that I've seen, because it kind of keeps a lot of the same characters. Mind you, it is based in present day, but it kind of gets the idea of the unknown color, that is very destructive. The unnamed narrator, the surveyor, so to speak, who is played by the hydrologist in this film, whose name is Philip Ward, which obviously is a play on Howard Philip Lovecraft, and then Charles Dexter Ward, who is another character in a Lovecraft short story. The one thing I can say about The Color Out of Space is that this film was made by and for Lovecraft fans. If you are a fan and familiar with Lovecraft's works, I feel that this was finally a film that was made, again, as faithful as you could possibly make it. Mind you, we do have other adaptations by Stuart Gordon and produced by Brian Usna, and even kind of Lovecraft adjacent, like a Society or shit, man, I don't just coming to mind. Nothing that's necessary. Oh, The Void is also another one, and then we have other adaptations by like Dagon, Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, all these kind of like things that kind of play off of the Lovecraft's works, but aren't necessarily entirely faithful to the source material. They kind of just take elements and put them on the screen, and done very well as up until this point. Mind you, not all of them are great, but I'm still appreciative as a person who is a fan of Lovecraft and his works. Color Out of Space is definitely in my top 10 of Lovecraft adaptations. All that is to say that we need more Nick Cage in Lovecraft adaptations, because he plays the Madman very well. And I mean, obviously he doesn't make it in this film, but he play another character, or the Charles Dexter Ward character, or someone else. There's got to be like some kind of person who's going mad, and Nicolas Cage I would think is the person to do that. But definitely check out The Color Out of Space. It is streaming on Tubi currently. It is one of my definitely top 10 Lovecraftian adaptations. Maybe one day or at some point we'll do a ranking of like all these Lovecraftian adaptations and or Lovecraft adjacent films. And be sure and comment what you thought of The Color Out of Space. Have you seen it? Are you a fan of Lovecraft's works? Are you a fan of Lovecraft adaptations? And if so, which one is your favorite? We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.